Hey, can I ask you something kinda bold? Does your mom know you're watching porn? Yeah, I know, awkward question. But if that stung a little, maybe we need to talk. Not in a judgmental way. Just real talk. And look, if you're wondering if one of your friends is caught up in it, there's a clue. Just check their screen time on their iPhone. If their browser usage, like Safari or Chrome, is clocking in at 20, 30, even 40 hours a month, there's a good chance they're not using that time to read articles on economic reform. Let's be real. I've been there too. I grew up in the early 2000s, slow internet, no iPhones, no private laptops. If you wanted to sneak a peek at something inappropriate, it was a whole operation. You needed a sketchy burned DVD or to sneak off to an internet cafe. Even then, you had to time it perfectly so no one walked in. But everything changed with the iPhone, iPad, and fast internet. Suddenly, you didn't need to sneak around. All you needed was a screen and a moment alone. And for a 15-year-old guy, that can feel like the ultimate freedom. Unlimited content, 24/7. Nobody's watching. Nobody's hurt, right? But talk to someone who's been addicted for 10, 15, 20 years. A lot of them will tell you straight up, porn almost destroyed my life. Or worse, porn did destroy my life. This stuff literally rewires your brain. The dopamine hits, the isolation, the expectations. It messes with your ability to experience real intimacy. Some guys end up unable to have sex with a real partner. Some can't even get aroused without porn. And get this, recent studies show that 30% of men under 40 already struggle with erectile dysfunction. That number's skyrocketing in just the past decade. Why? Porn, masturbation, digital addiction. And this ties into something bigger. An entire generation of young men who feel stuck, lost, like they've failed to launch. What happened to us? Let's zoom out for a second. This whole issue with porn. It's not just about sex, that it's part of a much bigger storm that's hitting young men right now. A generation that's quietly stuck. There's actually a name for it. Failure to launch. It's when guys grow up, but they don't really take off, that they're not moving forward in their careers, not forming healthy relationships, not stepping into purpose. Stats show that 27% of American men in their 20s still live with their parents. For women the same age, it's about 17%. And it's not just the U.S.in Japan. There's a whole group called the hikikomori. Shut-ins who rarely leave their rooms. No jobs, no school, no social life. Their parents literally bring their meals to the door. Most of them are men. And yeah, that sounds extreme. But it's not as far off as you think. I bet if you live in the US or Taiwan, or really anywhere with fast Wi-Fi, you probably know at least one guy who's halfway there. Smart, talented, but stuck. No confidence. No direction. Just floating. So, what's going on? According to the book The Coddling of the American Mind, it starts way earlier than adulthood. Here's reason number 1. Kids don't take risks anymore. When I was little, kids still rode bikes downhill, climbed trees, got scraped up, maybe even broke a bone. But that was part of growing. You learned courage. You learned to fall and get back up. But now, playgrounds are bubble-wrapped. Parents hover like drones. And so many kids grow up in these overprotected bubbles where they never actually face risk or failure. So what happens? They grow up afraid of pain, of challenge, of making real decisions that they've never practiced falling, so they don't know how to stand back up. Now we've got 25-year-olds who can't even order a pizza on the phone without having a mini meltdown. That's not weakness, that's inexperience. Reason number 2. The virtual world became the only world. When real life got harder, less risk, less adventure, less reward, guys started escaping into screens. Back in the day, it started simple. Arcade machines, racing games, fighting games. Then came home consoles in the 80s. Computer games in the 90s. Online multiplayer games in the 2000s. And let's be honest, these games were made for guys. They tap into that hunger for challenge, competition, achievement. Stuff we used to get from real life. And at first, it didn't seem so bad. Sure, we had some basement-dwelling gamers, but they were mostly happy-go-lucky nerds with pizza and Mountain Dew. Lonely maybe, but not broken. But then 2010 hit. The smartphone changed everything. Before that, you had to sit at a computer to game. Now, you can carry the whole virtual universe in your pocket. All day. Every day. Social media, mobile games, endless YouTube, porn, gambling apps, dating apps. Suddenly, reality had competition. And it was losing. Why risk awkward conversations or face rejection or deal with failure? When you could scroll TikTok, beat a new level, or watch whatever you want without even getting out of bed. It's no longer just gaming, it's full-blown escape culture. And yeah, it's addicting. Reason number 3. Porn. Let's just say it. Porn isn't some innocent little habit, that it's not just for fun or just curiosity. It's a trap. And it's everywhere. Back in my parents' day, if a teenage guy wanted to see a naked woman, he had to sneak a magazine or catch something late night on TV. There was still friction. Still some cost. But now, you've got a phone, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got a billion videos one swipe away. No one has to know, no effort. No resistance. Just dopamine, on demand. And your brain loves it. Too much, actually. See, your brain wasn't made for that kind of stimulation, it starts rewiring itself around instant pleasure. And over time, you stop finding joy in real relationships, in real women, in real life. There's an actual term for it, porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Yup, it's a real thing. You watch so much hyper-curated, perfect body content, that when you're finally with someone you love, your body doesn't even know how to respond. She's not filtered, she's not airbrushed, she's real. And porn trains your brain to prefer the fake. So what do we do? What do you do if you've been stuck in this cycle? Porn, gaming, doom scrolling, numbing out. What if you're one of those guys who feels like life already passed you by? Like you failed to launch? And now it's too late. Here's the truth. It's not too late. You're not broken beyond repair. You're not too addicted. You're not too weak. You're not forgotten. You're not a failure. You're a son. And the Father is still waiting. He's not standing there with a list of everything you've done wrong, he's standing there with open arms, asking one question. Will you come home? Yeah, it's gonna be hard, you'll have to fight. You might have setbacks. You might fall again. But you don't have to stay there. You can get up. You can build again. You can learn to feel again. To love again. To live again. And God, He's not waiting for you to be perfect, He's just waiting for you to say, I want to start. And I'll tell you something I've learned the hard way. You will never find peace from a screen. Not real peace. Not lasting peace. But you will find it in Jesus. He's not just your judge, He's your healer, He's your friend, He's the one who breaks chains. Especially the ones nobody else can see. So yeah, this might be awkward, it might feel heavy. But maybe that's because it matters. And if this hit home for you, talk to someone, pray. Delete the apps. Get accountability. Say out loud, I don't want to live like this anymore. And if you've already started walking back toward the Father, welcome home. You're not alone. We're walking with you.